if you live with people, if you work with people, if you're around people, if you ever go for a walk, any place where there are people, or there might have been people, or possibly will be people, and I'm being a little extreme there, but not by much. Every human being in the world needs to understand this material. Let's put it that way, especially those of us who work with people. It explains so much, it makes so much comprehensible, it makes so much predictable, which is one of the most difficult things about it, is you hear a list of few descriptive points coming from someone and you can then fill in the next 25 because borderline personality disorder is so patternable. It's so much the same every damn time, no matter where it happens or who it's going on with. It is an adaptation um, to trouble with belonging. Let's imagine a continuum of belonging. And over here, so way off screen here, we have happy belonging or good enough belonging. Okay. And then in this continuum here, we have wounded belonging. And these people are annoying, right? And then we have violated belonging. And these people are in a lot of pain. And then way over on this side, we have annihilated belonging. And these people are crazy and very, very dangerous, especially if they're parents with their children. And their children try to make themselves, the children try to make themselves responsible for the cruelty and the craziness that comes here on the spectrum from here over to here, right? And so in these 2 weekends, people discover how this thing is put together. We have there's a lot of brilliant people have been describing this for a lot of decades, and we've sifted it through and kind of filtered it, and we have the most important information that we have important information that we communicate really efficiently. We also have some points of view or some angles on borderline patterning that psychology land does not have, not at all, because well, they're coming from a different place, and it makes understanding what what we add into the conventional stuff, which is really brilliant and useful, makes it even more brilliant and useful. I don't mind saying. Most important is the experience of the people who attend, many of whom are discovering for the first time in their lives that they are not the only one in the world who's had this experience or who's been to blame for all of these things or have ruined their parent's life or and it's not just parents. Um, it's people who own businesses, people who manage in business, anyone who has charge of people uh, who are dependent on the one who's in charge. Like children are dependent on the parents, employees are dependent on the boss, dependent for their well being, for their survival, in a sense. The children in every way imaginable, the employees, or even the business, or especially even the business partners, are dependent on the other partners. Um, the way Mother Nature works, Mother Nature hooks people together in business and in personal relationships in this incredibly predictable way. And it's heartbreaking when it's not terrifying. And you need to know how this works so you can spot it, so you can respect what people go through who are afflicted with this and what people go through who have to deal with the people who are afflicted with this.
So Carl and I started teaching this because we run into it so often in our practice. And it causes like so much disruption and pain when when somebody is at the mercy of someone who has this patterning and doesn't understand that they are, doesn't like the contortions we go through to try and make things work with them that just aren't successful. We were surprised when we first started doing it how much and how important it was for everybody to be with each other, to find out, to notice that like they weren't alone in this experience. Like we knew that would be really nice, but it was more so than we thought it would be. Um, this is really useful for understanding those things and being able to work with it. And also to understand yourself. Many of you have been have been at the effect of some of this patterning. So this is a 4-day workshop, 2 weekends, 2 Saturdays and Sundays, March, February, I think 15, 16. So next weekend, whatever that is. Is that right?
Yes, and it's in the chat.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And then same dates in March. The first weekend, we go through a lot of description of and understanding what the patterns are. And then the second weekend, we do some change patterns around it. Um, some additional descriptions and change patterns. It's not an easy workshop by any means, but a lot of people have found it incredibly useful. And a lot of people take it 2, 3, 4 times. We offer it once a year.